Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at this little knife here. It's a 3.5-inch brass handled jack, 2-blade jack. This knife is pretty old, and it's rare, I think, for a couple reasons. So it's going to be interesting to take a look at this. The manufacturing technique used in this is kind of different than you normally see. And also it's a rare tang stamp. So yeah, I hope you check out the video. It's going to be interesting. What are you doing?
I think she said she's shivering.
She's cold. Well, Reagan.
She sounded like a dog over there panting.
Stand up, eat your food.
It's cold. And I'm always cold.
Get up! Get up!
Oh, I guess these. Oh, I got a Taco Bell box meal. I've never done that before.
Hey, welcome back to the Fortified Castle Hide, all my viewers. Got a really cool little knife here. Very simple, but I got this knife when I was in my brass phase, and so I wanted to get a hold of, some brass handled knives, and picked up a few, and was able. I came across this knife and picked it up right away. Really, I wouldn't say this is a finely made knife. There's nothing really wrong with it, but I don't know. It's just not the most finely made knife, but it's well made, and it's unusual in a number of different ways. And so it's 3.5 inches, all brass scales on here. You see it has a brass divider on it, carbon steel back spring and blades. But when you look at this tang stamp, Bramhall Ellison Carlisle Works. And so if you try to look this up, you don't come up with anything. And so it took me kind of a while to figure this knife out. And finally, I just honed in on Carlisle Works. And so the people that the company that worked out of and manufactured things out of Carlisle Works was Wilson, Hawksworth, and Ellison, and they owned Carlisle Works. And so you can see it, just with the little imprints, Bramhall was the Ellison that was a partner with Wilson and Hawksworth in Carlisle Works. And so it also helps to date this knife within probably 20 years. So this is an old firm that started out in 1825, but when Ellison became a partner was in 1853, and that's when one of the partners pulled out of the firm. Ellison was brought on as partner, even though he had worked at the firm since 1846. So the next thing that really happens that nails down the date on this knife is these guys start passing away. Wilson passed away. Hawksworth passed away. New partners were brought on. And so when Kaiser was brought onto the firm, it became Kaiser and Ellison. And that was in 1876. And when Kaiser came on, the decision was made to stop producing knives. And if you look right up here, if you look at the advertisement, this advertisement's dated 1879. So you'll notice there are no cutlery items on the list other than shovels and hoes. So they had quit making knives by 1879, and the information I saw said they stopped in 1876. So that would place the date of this knife between when Ellison became partner in 1853 and 1876. That's the date on this knife right here. So that's pretty cool. The youngest it could be is 1876. What is that? 30, 150, about 146 years old. This knife is at its earliest. Could be 20 years older than that. Could have been made early. But so this tang stamp you can't find, right? You have to deduce it. It doesn't exist by itself. Obviously, Bramhall Ellison was a partner in this firm and had some knives made for himself. That's kind of unusual too, right? So partners usually didn't make knives with their name on it. Maybe he produced this to give as a gift to somebody, but I have seen other Bramhall Ellison knives. So this is not the only one. And it looks like he was producing knives, on his own at Carlisle Works. And so that's kind of unusual. And then if you look inside here, let's see if I can, you see how that's kind of hollow in there. You see that? It's concave right there. So on most brass knives, like this knife right here, it is a solid piece of brass on this knife. And it's quite a bit heavier. You can see right there what I'm talking about. When you look inside there, you see the brass right away. And on this one, it's like a covering, a brass covering, which is really unique. I've never seen that before on another knife. And that's pretty cool. So that's a different kind of technique. The result is these knives are pretty much the same size. This is almost 3 times as heavy as this knife right here. And this knife has extra steel in it for the 2 blades. This has 1 blade, but it's a lot heavier than this knife right here. So pretty good idea really to make a brass knife and it still be fairly lightweight. These two are comparable in weight. So this is a medium Stockman from Case. You got 3 blades, 2 back springs, and yet it's about the same weight as this knife right here. So yeah, really unusual construction on this knife, and I'm just so fortunate to have come across this. And I'm glad I bought this knife because it looked kind of rough. It still looks kind of rough, and I just didn't know whether I would pick it up or not, but it works fine. This is kind of lazy. Not kind of lazy. It is lazy. So very little spring on the small one. On the big one, you got full snap on it. So anyhow, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, pretty interesting, and thought you all might enjoy seeing a knife that's a little different than other knives. Look at the difference in the brass too. So this is has a lot more copper in it. Probably gunmetal is probably what this is. Probably has a 90% copper content in there. This is your normal copper content between think 65 and 75% copper and brass. Might be wrong about that. I'll have to look at it. All right. Thanks again for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed it.